here's how to never get ghosted again. First off, if you see someone starts to ghost you, just text them. Hey, I heard some crazy shit about you that you might want to hear. And they're 100% gonna respond to you. And once they do, you ghost them. Fuck them.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll take a look at the perfect man that every feminist claims to want. A man who cleans, cooks, supports, and adapts to everything. We'll see how a woman celebrates him and puts him on a pedestal, but, curiously, she still doesn't recommend marriage. We'll also analyze the hidden problems in their relationship because, as we know, not everything that glitters is gold. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 150,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We thank those who support the project with their super chats and share their experiences in the comments. That's what helps this community grow. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. All right, let's get started.
Let me give you an example of what it looks like to be married to a competent and capable man who gives a shit. I came home last night to find the entire house had been cleaned. Our Bath & Body Works candles that he ordered had come in, had been lit. The rest of our Christmas decorations had been put up, adorably, by the way. And he had gone and got new Christmas stuff for our boys' bathrooms and put it out after he cleaned it. That's him cleaning the toilet. I also didn't ask him to do any of this. I didn't make him a list of things to do. I didn't leave it out for him. I didn't request that any of this be done. I simply went to work. I came home. And my husband had acted like a completely competent and capable adult who gives a shit about his family, who takes care of his house, who cares about how it looks, and likes to also equitably participate in making Christmas magical for our family.
Oh my God! Wow!
As a man, it's perfectly fine to help around the house from time to time. It's your home too, and keeping it in order doesn't take away from your masculinity. However, there's a big difference between helping and becoming the house husband who takes full control of cleaning, decorating, and grocery shopping. That's a line I don't recommend crossing. This man is every feminist's dream. He cleans, decorates, takes care of everything without being asked, and assumes the role that was traditionally expected of a wife. It might seem like the perfect marriage for them, but the reality is quite different. A man who operates with feminine energy doesn't spark the attraction they think he does. Let's watch the next video because there's more, straight from the legendary Simps.
Do you want to know what the problem with my husband is? It's taken me 13 years to figure this out. And the problem is that he makes me believe I could do literally anything. Quit my job and start my own business. Believable. Start a podcast. Did it. Start content creating and create a second income for our family. Check. Now this man is out here making me think that I could write a book. And that's the problem. He's allowed me to believe these things, so much so that I did them. Or might do them. I don't know. But that's the problem with a supportive husband. They make you think that you could do a lot of things and then support you throughout the entirety of them. Be your biggest cheerleader. Celebrate you in every single aspect. Yeah.
Now everything makes sense. This man has the goose that lays the golden eggs. An empowered woman who earns her own money, supports him, and the more money she brings in, the better it is for him. With that setup, even I would applaud you, brother. But here's the problem. Genuine interest can't be negotiated. No matter how much support you offer, if you act like her personal cheerleader instead of a man with direction, you end up in the gay friend category, not the husband category. This type of behavior, where he becomes her biggest fan and main source of support, might seem like a good strategy, but it often kills the spark of desire. When a woman feels that you're her motivational coach, the sexual tension fades because she no longer sees you as a masculine figure of attraction, but as emotional support. Brother, leading is not the same as applauding. It's fine to support, but never lose your role as a man in the relationship. But let's keep going.
This comment came from a video where I'm telling women, I don't recommend marriage and motherhood. And I say that as a happily married woman and a mother of 2 children. And what this commenter and so many men in this comment section don't understand is that I'm saying this with all of the privilege that I have, with an amazing, supportive, participative husband that I have, the support that I have of my own family to help me with our children. I'm saying that with all of that it's still so hard. That it's still so hard when you have a well-paying job, a supportive husband, a support system to help you with your children. It's still so hard. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that even with all of the things that are supposed to make it good and make it easier and make it better, I still can't recommend it, because even still, even after my experience, which has been a fairly decent one, I cannot recommend it because there are still obstacles and hurdles and brick walls set up to make it extensively harder for women. That's what I'm saying. That's why you listen to the happily married people when they're telling women, don't get married and don't have children, because it's still that fucking hard.
Stop it. Get some help.
And here's the reason why I never recommend marrying a feminist. Like a pig with a ring in its nose, she will always be insatiable. Even if she has a perfect marriage with the perfect man, she'll still say not to get married or have children. Because, at the end of the day, misery loves company. She doesn't want other women to have what she has. She wants them all on the same wall with no kids. The worst enemy of a woman will always be another woman. Look at this man, the one she describes as wonderful, supportive, and involved. You'd think that, with all that, he'd be getting the best intimacy of his life, right? After all, he does everything she wants and plays the role of the perfect husband. But no, here we are, listening to this same woman say she can't recommend marriage or motherhood. Brother, if even the perfect man can't make a feminist happy, imagine the rest of us. But don't worry, because the next part of this story reveals a lot more.
I haven't slept with my husband in probably a year. Unintentionally, probably 4 or 5 months. Intentionally, probably 8 or 9 months. And that really gets a lot of people upset and causes them to jump to a lot of conclusions. And when I say sleeping together, I mean literally lying unconscious next to him. We've been sleep divorced for about a year. Intentionally, 7 months. Unintentionally, a full year. So, people ask all the time, like, how did this happen? What do you do? Like, and they honestly, their first thought is that we're unhappy and our marriage is on, the downward spiral. And that's not the case. You should be prioritizing your sleep. Have you ever not slept for an extended period of time? Because this thing is real fucking terrifying when you don't. It's really dangerous for you, for your family. And I experienced it firsthand how fucking dangerous and terrifying it is when you don't sleep for long stretches of time. So I had to prioritize my sleep, and that meant not sleeping with my husband. And that's just the way it is. Because for me to be a functioning adult, for me to be an active mother and wife, I have to prioritize my sleep, and that means sleeping alone. And you know what? We're fine. My husband is fine. I am fine. My marriage is fine. We don't need your pity. We don't need your sorrow. Everything's okay. If you sleep great next to your spouse, wonderful. Love that for you. If you don't, that's okay. Doesn't mean you love your spouse any less. Doesn't mean that your marriage is on the rocks. Doesn't mean you're headed for divorce. It simply means that you two are confident in your marriage and in your relationship with each other, to know that lying unconscious next to each other for 8 hours a night is not going to be the thing that breaks you. And if it is, your marriage was shit to begin with.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
When you become your partner's gay friend, forget about intimacy. Think logically. If a man gets upset with his woman, she tries to qualify herself to win him back. She'll cook something special for you, put on sexy clothes, and that night you'll have the best intimacy of your life. But if you're the perfect man who does everything for her, no drama, no conflict, you remove any reason for her to make an effort for you. When is she supposed to feel motivated to play her role as a wife if you're already doing it all? That's why I always say, a man must be strong in his boundaries and soft in his needs. A woman won't contribute financially, but she will offer acts of service and emotional support. If you don't give her space to put in effort, she won't qualify herself for you. The man who becomes her best gay friend doesn't create sexual tension, and that's why he ends up sleeping in separate bedrooms. She'll come up with any excuse like prioritizing sleep, but that dead bedroom has already turned into a roommate arrangement. The worst part is, there are men who settle for so little. Brother, never become a paper husband for any woman.
My marriage isn't doomed because my husband and I sleep separately. If my husband and I were ever to get a divorce, I promise it would not be because we slept separately. And I know a lot of people misunderstood and think that the cause for my sleeping separately is because of him. It has nothing to do with him. Yeah, he's a pretty big guy and takes up most of the bed, but that is not the reason why we decided to sleep separately. It's because over the summer I had a complete mental breakdown that led to me being hospitalized, and it was because I wasn't sleeping. And now that I'm done and I'm out of the hospital, I have a lot to process about sleep and its association. And for whatever reason, I have a negative association with our bed. To me, it just signals I'm not going to sleep if I get in this bed. And that's been really difficult for me to overcome. And since I've had to really focus on and prioritize my health this year, the number one thing was sleep. And I've slept all over the house. I've slept on the couch. I've slept in the basement. I've slept in the playroom. I've slept in my closet. And my closet was the easiest thing for me to turn into my own dedicated room. And I have to sleep there because if I don't sleep, we know what happens. And so prioritizing my sleep was the main reason why we have decided to sleep separately. The dudes that think that it's gay to clean your home, buy candles so your home smells good because you know that your wife likes it, buy Christmas decorations and set them up to match the current Christmas decorations, those guys that think it's gay are the same ones who look like they have never washed their ass because they're afraid their finger might slip in and they might like it a little too much.
She got upset when people said her husband seems gay, but let's be honest, his behavior isn't helping. I'm not saying he is, but a man who takes charge of decorating the house, matching Christmas ornaments, and buying scented candles to please his wife is definitely crossing a line. If she's not even sleeping with him anymore, something is off. There's no emotional or sexual connection, And we all know that when that connection breaks, the marriage starts to fall apart. Masculine polarity is essential, whether women like it or not. When a man stops acting like a man, the marriage is destined to fail. I'm not saying you shouldn't clean or help around the house, but there's a line that should never be crossed: fully taking on the role of the wife. Part of maintaining interest and connection is the emotional roller coaster, which includes moments of anger and disagreement. Anger, though many don't realize it, is a stronger emotion than love. If you don't let your woman play her role in the relationship, she'll end up disconnecting from you, not just emotionally, but also sexually. Attraction dies when you stop being the man in the equation. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Why do you think being too accommodating in a relationship is a bad thing? What are your thoughts on this story? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.